Brodes Media.
So they win a series. Before we dig deep into Game 3 and some of the moves that the Phillies made today, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also smash that thumbs up button as well. On Twitter, @Brodes81, that's my personal account. Head on over, some great in-game tweets, giveaway tweets, not in-game tweets, lots of fun action. Head on there, hit the follow button. I love you all so much. You are the best, and enjoy the show. What is going on, everyone? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Brodes. The Philadelphia Phillies beat the San Diego Padres by a score of 7-4 to win the series. Not surprised at all. I saw it coming 3,000 miles away after the disaster that happened in the desert. The problem right now, though, is the Braves. The Braves just continue to win. They won 9 straight, and they're not cooling down. The difference between the Braves and the Phillies, at least right now, they're beating the teams that they are supposed to beat ahead of them, while the Phils slip. 2-4 on this 6-game road trip, that's absolutely unacceptable. And realistically, heading into the action, you would think 4-2 would be the floor. If you can go 4-2, that's your worst case scenario. You got to be better than that if you can, but 4-2 you can live with as your floor. You go 2-4. That's a disaster. That is really an issue here. And I'm sure the Braves will lose eventually, right? There will be a time where maybe it gets a bit uncomfortable for them as you see the Dodgers, as you see the Giants. After that, though, it really comes down to playing the abysmal teams as well for the Braves, and they seem to be molded better when it comes to handling business. Freddie Freeman and some of the other vets on that squad seem to have more control of the presence, of the mentality, of the buy-in factor than whatever we see here in Philadelphia over the last 3 seasons, 3 games, sheesh. No, 3 years. That's how long it's been. 3 long years of this nastiness, of this new era of Phillies baseball. I know where I'm at emotionally. No win like this is going to pull me in a new direction. The only way I'm getting swayed one way or the other is if we roll through another 5, 6, 7-game win streak or 5, 6, 7-game losing streak. Other than that, we're going to see what we've seen forever now. You'll see that gut-wrenching loss to the Padres once again. You'll see an explosive night like you just saw with Rhys Hoskins, and how about Odubel Herrera having 4 hits in the leadoff spot with 3 RBIs? Once again, all those morons who tried telling me that Mickey Moniak and plenty of other outfielders deserve to play over Odubel Herrera for baseball reasons, you couldn't be any more wrong. Mickey Moniak would never sniff 4 hits in one game, would never sniff the night that Odubel Herrera has had tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. And to be fair, 1, he's not that great, and 2, it looks like he's nicked up big time with that ankle, so he's doing it banged up. JT Realmuto adding with the home run of his own, having 2 hits. So it's great that, this offense is happening. It'll probably happen again, and Kyle Gibson will probably have a nice start again. I love the fact that he just acted as a professional early on, got into some trouble, had some runners on third base, got out of it, limited the damage, and then maneuvered through 1, 2, 3 inning, getting through 8. At one point, I looked up at his pitch count, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know how long he's going to be able to last, which would absolutely blow. And with a blink of an eye, I'm watching him go through 8 innings. So my point is, this team is basically going to just do this. Unless I see anything drastic, I'm basically staying put. I'll be watching every pitch. I'll be tuned in every night. I'll be watching every swing. That will not be changing. But, just where I am with this team, I think it's inevitable, right? It's more just I love the damn sport. And, yeah, that's basically it. I was going to say, and they're hanging around just by default. But at the end of the day, it might be heading in another direction right now where I never thought any team would run away with things. You have an off day on Monday, and you attack the Tampa Bay Rays for 2. A really strong team, and they're coming into your building. They lead the AL East while the Yankees and the Red Sox and those squads are in that division. Yeah, here comes the little lonely Rays that barely spend any money, just crucifying teams left and right. They come to your barn. Are the Braves running away with it, or are the Phils going to stay active and involved just because, well, it's the National League East? It's very possible, just based off of what we've seen so far this season. So, yeah, getting back to Gibson, though, absolutely loved it. It was a grind. Bottom first, he got Tommy Pham to roll over for a ground out to end the inning when there were some players on the base paths. A run did score, but ultimately you limit the damage. Bottom two, man on third with one out. I think it was first and third to be exact. Bottom three, 2 men on, gets Hosmer with a big strikeout. So working through traffic, working through a lot of bodies. You got to do that sometimes. Don't be afraid to pitch to contact. We know he's not. 35% sinker. Absolutely willing to trust his defense behind him. Yeah, that's because Alec Bohm's not playing. Moving Alec Bohm was the right decision. It's just bizarre that we're here. I would have never thought in a billion years when the season began that by August 22nd, we'd have Alec Bohm going to AAA. And I saw this tweet on Twitter, and I have to bring it up because it makes me laugh, and it's pretty hysterical. This is an individual who's very pro-Philly players. Maybe not the Phillies organization, but very pro-Phillies player. And he just bothers me with his positivity because it's not just you want to be positive. Because there's plenty of reasons on being positive, and I understand that. But you're irrationally positive where you take it to this extreme. Here was his most recent tweet. From June 1st to August 8th, Alec Bohm has maintained a slash of .315, .383, .414. He then went on to see minimal playing time, giving his defensive struggles. Today, he was optioned to AAA. The Phillies are the best in the business at mishandling their prospects. What are you talking about? Alec Bohm has been miserable. Alec Bohm has been pathetic. He has missed easy ground balls every single day. He's missed foul balls that he should be able to get out of an inning with, or a ball drops in foul territory because he's unable to make a simple catch. Alec Bohm is on the AAA Lehigh Valley team right now because of Alec Bohm, not because of the Phillies. You can go through the long list of players that have failed and the Phillies have mismanaged, whether it's Spencer Howard's bullpen usage, starting usage, AAA usage. At the end of the day, though, Spencer Howard had a billion opportunities to not have his velocity dip 5 miles per hour. That was unbelievable. That's not the Phillies' fault that his velocity dips after 2 innings. That's a Spencer Howard problem. I don't love how they did it. Okay, I'm not telling you that they did everything perfectly, but there's plenty of reasons why we could look at Spencer Howard, Alec Bohm, on why they failed themselves. They are a part of this issue. Come on now with Alec Bohm. He continues, hopefully Bohm uses his time positively. I, for one, sincerely hope the Phillies give him a shot in left field. Why? He's going to be miserable anywhere he plays on the diamond. Whether you like it or not, he's just not a good defender, and it's because of, 1, the confidence issue that he's probably never going to have. 2, the body structure, the body frame. He's a big, lanky dude. I think that's causing him some issues. And, oh, by the way, he can't hit to save his damn life. He doesn't know how to pull. And I guess he continues here to mention, as I just said that, and he can work on pulling the inside pitches. Well, that's why he needs to go to AAA, because he needs to get at-bats. What does it do for him to sit on the bench and basically do nothing and get an at-bat every 4 days, 3 days, randomly get a pinch hit opportunity where he's probably going to be overpowered and overmatched as it is? So, yeah, throw him into the AAA route to get him some more at-bats. It's moves like this that can negatively affect the player's confidence, especially so late in the season. Be better! Be better! Don't suck! Actually perform! Right? Like you're blaming the Phillies for hurting Alec Bohm's confidence? Get the hell out of here. Do you see the way he carries himself? Do you see the way that he mouths things to himself as he's walking back clearly upset? Handle your emotions better. You're 25, bro. You're 25. I'm 26 right now. I tend to believe that I do a better job at handling my emotions now than I did at 20, 21, 22 years old. You're old enough. I reference this all the time with his age. Yes, he's young baseball professional-wise. He's not a young player, though, age-wise. He's an adult. We're talking about simple routine plays. It's not on the Phillies. They gave him every opportunity. I can make the argument that they gave him more opportunities than he probably deserved. So he continues. Don't get me wrong. This is a necessary move, especially if Bohm seeing little to no playing time at the MLB level. Whether or not he deserves it, it's everything that's led to this move and the Phillies' recent treatment of their prospects that's frustrating. I'm not disagreeing that it's frustrating. I don't love the way the Phillies operate. I think that's pretty damn simple, and there's a reason why we do feel that way, and we question what's happening. With that said, though, both can be true, where Spencer Howard had plenty of opportunities to be better than he was. And you saw when he first went to Texas, the same damn thing happened there, where he exploded as soon as he reached a certain point of the game, because that's a Spencer Howard issue. Moving along with Alec Bohm. It's simple ground balls, fellas. Simple ground balls. And, I don't want to necessarily reference who's saying this. If you know who he is, you know who he is. But yeah, it blows my mind. I almost find it comical and laugh in a way. So, the corresponding move was Rhys Hoskins. Rhys Hoskins coming back in the lineup. Another thing that can be true, Rhys Hoskins is very important to the depth and the protection in your lineup, and Rhys Hoskins is not the reason why you lose 3 straight games to the Arizona Diamondbacks, where, by the way, some of these pitchers are never going to see Major League Baseball time again after this season. I like Rhys Hoskins, and he brings you power. He's not the only reason why you lose that game, okay, or you lose that series. If so, then Rhys Hoskins has the most powerful touch in the world. Look how great Rhys Hoskins was today, right? Odubel Herrera led off and had 4 hits and 3 RBIs. You're telling me Rhys Hoskins was the reason why that happened? No, the team just played a better brand of baseball today, and it was nice to see Rhys carry the stick that way and hit 2 solo bombs, one on a 3-0 count and one on a 1-2 count. So it doesn't matter, place, timing, situation, count. Bang, he's swinging, and it's hard to miss that much time and come back and instantly have that power. Good for him. Now, here's some statistics courtesy of John Clark after the game went down. With Rhys Hoskins, the team is 52 and 46, and the team averages 4.54 runs per game. Without Rhys Hoskins, the team averages 4.04 runs per game. So, to put it in perspective with the rest of the league, I want to bring up, and I had the page up, and of course, I accidentally exited out. So, if you go to runs per game as a team, 4.5, which is what they are with Rhys Hoskins, will put you at the average, literally 15th in Major League Baseball. It's settling you in right in the middle of the pack with everybody else. It would be actually the 14th team, not the 15th. It would put you at the 14th team in baseball. What they are without Rhys Hoskins, 404, is 25th. So you go from 25th to 14th with runs per game with Rhys Hoskins. I bring this up because, once again, that shows you, and there's a little bit less sample size, of course. Without Rhys, it's only 25 games without Rhys Hoskins, and with Rhys Hoskins, there's way more games. So, just put that into the equation when you're analyzing what's going on here. Rhys Hoskins matters. With Rhys Hoskins, though, I feel people are blowing this out of proportion and claiming that with Rhys Hoskins, this team is an elite lineup that's so dynamite and could go win you a championship. That's how much people put the emphasis on Rhys Hoskins. No. To put it in perspective, you're average as average can be with Rhys Hoskins in the lineup. You are average, middle of the pack, Major League Baseball with Rhys Hoskins. It's just without, they clearly miss a big step to the point where, that's kind of eye-opening to think that they're more in that 25th range. But once again, you think about how bad the Arizona Diamondbacks are and some of the pitches that they were throwing over the middle of the plate at 89 miles per hour. Those pitches are drivable with or without Rhys Hoskins. It's just Andrew McCutchen misses it. Gene Segura misses it. JT misses it. Bryce misses it because during that spot of the season, which was just last series, so I have no idea why I mentioned it like that. Those guys were not hitting pitches that were right over the middle of the plate. They had pitches to hit. They had plenty of pitches to hit. It wasn't just simply Rhys Hoskins and the lack of protection. They weren't getting anything to hit. No, we can dive through every game of that Diamondback series and tell you that there's plenty of spots for them to come up big and make something happen. And same with that Aaron Nola game last night. They were, 2 strikes away from winning, which would have put them at a sweep without Rhys Hoskins. Now, that's not me bashing Rhys Hoskins. I'm just trying to lower the praise and the intensity here of what he means. He means you're average. He means you're average. Means you're average. All right. What else happened in this game? Well, it didn't look pretty in the beginning. Sloppy. Odubel can't get the ball in the right way. The Padres are getting extra bases. Top 2, you left men on base. Didi Gregorius and Ronald Torreyes not able to cash in. And then Gibson has an at-bat with bases loaded. Almost squeaked a single through the right side of the infield, but a really good defensive play was made, so no runs were scored. Segura gets on in the third. He gets a double. JT Realmuto and Bryce Harper both pop up, which was extremely disappointing. So while Kyle Gibson's working out of all this traffic, and it's scary because there's constantly guys on base, and you would think at some point, maybe the Padres would pounce. You're having that while the Phillies continue the they can't get hits with runners in scoring position drama, and then eventually it kind of just blew open for the Phillies until super late. You know what? I don't even know what the hell happened there in that 9th inning. Falter gets a couple strikeouts, but bases are loaded. Hector Neris comes in. There's a bases-loaded double, but eventually you get yourself out of it all. Not that it was anything really concerning or really anything super scary, but in my opinion, just kind of throw Hector Neris in the spot where you really shouldn't have to utilize him, and you're always worried about realistically what's happening with the pitches thrown because of examples like last night. Ian Kennedy having 30 pitches the night before, and Hector Neris as well. If we're looking at game 2 of this series, and when you wanted to utilize these players based off of what they did in game 1 of this series, it became pretty bad that you had to use Hector Neris in that spot just with pitch counts and whatnot. You don't know what's going to happen against Tampa Bay in a couple of these games. Now, they have an off day on Monday, so that does give them a bit of a rest. But, just kind of looking at it from that angle. I talked about Gibson, his stat line. 8 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and 103 pitches. He's given you what you expected as a starter when you made that trade at the trade deadline. He is a pro's pro. He's an innings eater. He's he gave you better than just a 4th type of starter or a back end of the rotation starter, but this year he's been better than that. Average-wise throughout his career, he's been more of what I mentioned. But this season, he's been more of a top-end type of rotation piece. And he showed you why today. Just doing the little simple things. Sometimes, you focus too much on the splashy play, the big strikeout, the curveball. No. The big swing and a miss on the change. No. Let's just do the little things right. Ground ball to third base. Torreyes makes the play, throws it over to first. Bada bing, bada boom. Nice and simple. Trust your teammates. 1, 2, 3. Late in the game, 1, 2, 3. How about that? All right, before we continue to the Anytime Hotline, let's hear a word from my friends over at DraftKings. Everyone's favorite time of the year is right around the corner, the college football season, and to celebrate, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new players in the center of the action with $200 in free bets instantly if you bet $1 or more on any college football game. Take advantage of this limited-time offer right now. You heard right. DraftKings is giving all new players $200 in free bets instantly when you place a bet of $1 or more on any college football game, no matter what. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code Brodes to receive $200 in free bets when you place a bet of $1 or more on any college football game. That's promo code Brodes to get your free $200 in free bets instantly for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's go on over to the Anytime Hotline and hear what the people had to say.
Hey, bro, it's a nice win. Got a lot of runs scored in that one. Lots of home runs. I'll take the 2 out of 3, but it just would have been. We should have gotten the sweep yesterday. It's an unacceptable loss. It really just sucks. But going up against this Rays team, best record in the AL, it's gonna be tough. You got Wheeler, and then a couple undecided. But wait, hold up. I don't know. We got Wheeler in one of the games. I see. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough series. Thanks.
It's definitely going to be tough. It's only a 2-game set, so realistically, the best case scenario I see is probably a split. You know what I mean? Like, if we're being real honest with ourselves, I can't see a scenario where they sweep the Tampa Bay Rays, which means they're probably going to sweep the Tampa Bay Rays and get ourselves a little juiced up more than we need to be. But, yeah, I mean, if we go to the rotation, if we think about it here, because if Zach Wheeler is on the bump, and he is, in fact, on the bump in the second game, Ranger Suarez is on the mound for game 1. So it's not the best case scenario in the world. It's definitely not the worst case scenario in the world. It's not a Matt Moore and a Vince Velasquez or something of that nature. But I wish Zach Wheeler would have been first, because then maybe you could step your foot on the gas early. Winning game 1 of this series would be a lot different feel than, let's say, going down 0-1 in this mini 2-game set, and then you're waiting on Zach Wheeler to salvage it instead of maybe winning game 1 and mowing down this lineup, and then you wonder, okay, can Ranger Suarez put together a set of 6 strong innings to keep you involved and keep you engaged with maybe 1 earned run or something along those lines? So that's where we are, at least as of right now. And you're right, though. The Phillies should have swept this series. But at the end of the day, if you swept the series, while it's a good feel right now, when you analyze the 6 games, you basically went 3-3. You played, wait for it, 500 baseball, which we've already been through so many stats this season halfway through the year. If you look at their first, it was actually a little bit after the All-Star break. And if you look at the first set of the schedule and the first set of the season compared to some of the start of the second half of the season, it was basically 500. When you looked at the record with Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, and Eflin, and then the rest of the starting pitchers, you were basically 500. No matter how you spin it, it comes back to reality on what this team is, and that is your simple, basic, mediocre baseball team. They get there in not in a mediocre way, but that's what they show. That's their true colors. However you want to try and maneuver through it all, it brings you right back home, which is kind of crazy to think it's to that level. It always is, though, always.
Well, it seems like Rhys Hoskins was the difference maker after all. And I know it's just one game, but here's the thing. It's the first game in about 2 weeks where it seems like the Phillies have had any sort of life offensively. And he's a big part of that. I mean, he's a guy that you can't necessarily pitch around and you can't really avoid. And the Phillies actually hit this game. So hopefully Rhys continues to have a positive impact in this lineup.
Well, he's probably going to have a positive stint in this lineup for sure. It just comes down to the aggressiveness of people mentioning Rhys Hoskins and to the level that they talk about it, right? Because Bryce Harper, who was batting 3 today, as he normally does, JT was in the cleanup, Rhys Hoskins was batting 5th, but Bryce Harper went 0 for 4. Had a strikeout, a flyout. He did walk in the game, but with Rhys Hoskins, Rhys Hoskins in the lineup, Bryce Harper goes 0 for 4. I think I see pretty clearly, as I understand the sport of baseball, what he does do. At the same time, people are making a team like Rhys Hoskins is the reason why Odubel had 4 hits. No, Odubel had 4 hits because Odubel had 4 hits, right? Yes, I think JT's success might have had a bit of a effect, or Rhys Hoskins had an effect on JT, who was batting in front of him and as of late has been in a real serious slump, and we need him to turn it around big time. It's been ugly for JT. This is a season to forget for JT, yet somehow, some way, he made the All-Star game, if you remember. It's kind of crazy. If you go to his stats and you go to his baseball reference and you look at, some of his previous season and what he's been doing and all, and you look at, whoa, hold on a second, why? All-Star? In what universe? Once again, goes back to where the catcher position is at this era in the baseball world. Rhys Hoskins was important. I'll say it again. Rhys Hoskins was important. Rhys Hoskins is important. Rhys Hoskins is important. So just in case you forgot and you thought that I didn't see how important Rhys Hoskins was. Let's tamper, though, where it's taking the team. He's taking the team from 25th to average. It's a nice jump, though. Yeah, I'm acknowledging that. That's a jump. I wonder, though, what would happen if you took Bryce Harper out of the lineup. Where would they be runs per game? If JT was out of the lineup, probably not as much. If Gene Segura was out of the lineup. And compare that to when Rhys is out of the lineup. Is it a Rhys Hoskins thing? Is it if you're just missing one of your bats like Bryce Harper or Gene Segura kind of thing? Because I don't think you'd have the same exact impact that you have with like you would be talking the same thing is what I mean. Let's say Bryce Harper missed 25 games. You'd probably be in the same exact category hitting-wise and numbers-wise. I'd have to look deeper into the numbers. The problem is there were so many injuries. A lot of things overlapped. When Didi was out, Bryce was out, JT was out. It's really hard to get a big enough sample size to really support what you're trying to say here. And when I say you, I'm talking about me. There's been a lot of that this season. IL stints, missing some time. It was a mess. What's next?
This is coming from a Braves fan, but I think the Phillies have something to win the East and do nothing in the playoffs, just like the Braves.
That's interesting. I did not see that coming at all, and it kind of threw me in for a loop here. So a Braves fan saying that they believe they see something in the Phillies. One, I don't know if that's a troll, and they don't believe that at all. They're just saying that because they find it funny. Or two, it's more of a defensive mechanism. If anything was to happen with the Atlanta Braves this year during this ride that they're on and somehow they collapse, which I can't imagine that happening, it's, well, I knew that was coming. No, I was prepared for that. I don't know where that really falls, but I don't know. I mean, I just don't see a way that the Phillies really do this. I think we know. We know. Deep down, we know. We'll continue to watch. We'll continue to grind. We'll continue to just be there. But no one's really believing that this is going to another level, right? Like deep down in your guts, your real gut. Really? God bless you if you do, because you're a different breed than me. With that being said, I want to thank everybody so much for listening, and I will see you next time.